Alright guys, welcome back to another Dayz tutorial. I want to show you how you can create custom textures for flags. Really simple. Now, in the description box, there's going to be two, possibly three links. I can't remember how many I've done, but there's going to be a link that will take you to a video that shows you how to install PBA project by Material Tools. There's also going to be a link in there that shows you how you would set up your mod folder and how you get everything ready to create your own mod pack. So there'll be some links in there. So I suggest if you haven't already got a mod pack or a mod folder set up for your Dayz server, go and watch them links in the description box and then come back to this. It will show you how to use Dayz tools and what you need to do to set up Dayz tools and mount the P drive. It will show you how to set up PBO project, between the two links. Show you how to set up PBO project to pack your mods, and it'll show you how to create keys, so you can add a key to your mod folder, and all that stuff that you need to do to basically get your mod folder or mod pack set up for your server. So providing you've done all that, you've gone and watched them, come back to this video, and then we're going to now continue. So what you want to do is basically make sure you open up Dayz tools, mount your P drive if you've not already done that, and then you want to go to your P drive. We've got that. Now my two main folders here, we've got my subfolder and we've got my mod pack folder. Now before I go any further, I'm going to say I have already tried to record this video once before. I'm redoing it just because my kids are making too much noise in the background, so I'm going to redo it. So a lot of the stuff I've already got set up, but I'm going to show you the steps and process what you need to do anyway. Now we've called mine Live to Survive as my project folder, and then Live to Survive mod pack. Again, yours, and I think I explained this in the video on how to set this up. Name your mod folder and stuff to whatever you want. Typically something related to your server name. Anyway, we're going to want to go into your project folder. So for me, it's Live to Survive. And then, right, for you, if it's your first time, you'll have nothing in here. Ignore caps, ignore jackets, and ignore much explosives. And basically, you can ignore flags. Yours will be empty. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want to create a folder, and I'm calling these subfolders. So Live to Survive, or whatever you call your main folder, is like your project folder, and any folders that you create in here, for me, I call them subfolders. So these are going to be subfolders. So whenever you hear me say subfolder, I'm relating to any folders that you create inside your project folder. Right, go ahead and create a folder, and I've called mine flags. Again, you can call this whatever you want to call it. Typically, you probably may want to just call this flags or custom flags, or something across them lines, just so you know your config file for this is only going to be your flags. Now you can add everything into one config. For me, I like to categorize it and separate them. It just makes it easier. Right, now go ahead and, like I said, for me I call it flags. Go ahead and create a new folder and name it to whatever you want to. Once you've done that, go inside it. Now, ignore the PAA files and the config CPP at the minute. Again, yours will be empty. First thing you're going to want to do is create a config.cpp file. And it's simply right-click in, new, and create a text document. And call it config.cpp, just like I've done there. And do make sure it is a CPP file. Make sure under type, it's not a TXT file or anything like that. Right, once you got that, you can go inside it. And I've got stuff in mind. Yours will be empty. Now, right, I'm going to provide a pastebin link. Again, all links will be in the description box on YouTube. Go ahead and click on the pastebin link that I provide you. It will take you straight to the config CPP file that I'm going to provide you for it. Now, the config CPP file that I provide will only provide you with one config for one flag texture. You can see I've got one custom flag texture there. I've got another one underneath it there, and the one that I'm going to show you that I previously just tried to show you 10 minutes ago, but I got disturbed pretty much, is I've got a third one, which is a test one. But I'm only going the config that I give you will only have one. And it will look like, I'll show you what it will look like. Yours will look like that. The config that I give you will look like that. But I'm going to change a few things. I can actually show you what it will look like. Let me go to Pastebin, log in. I did have this already for you, but I closed this down because I thought I was done. Right, so Pastebin, it will take you to this link, and this was what the config will look like. It will just have config for one custom thing. Now, what I've done is I've changed some names of stuff. So where it's got class here, and this is what you'll see. This is the config that you'll get. It says name of project folder. So you need to change this to the name of your project folder. We scroll down a little bit. We've got class change me. You need to change this where it says change me to whatever name you want your flag to be called. So this is like the class name of the flag. What you'll see if you're looking for it in your item spawner menu, or if you add it to the trader, this will be the name of that. So make sure it says change me, you change it to whatever name you want it to be called. Display name, this will be the display name. This is what you'll see when it's like in your inventory, when you're like looking at it. If you've got your mouse cursor over it, this will be the name you'll see. So change that as well. So it says change me. Anything that says change me, pretty much change to whatever you need it to be. And again, with the description short, you can put a little description about it. And then at the bottom here, we're in the hidden, not in these two brackets under hidden selection textures. I've got name of project folder. So this will be your name of your project folder. So then that same name that you put up here. And for me, mine is called Live to Survive. Then you want the name of your subfolder. So this, where it says subfolder name, change this to the name of your subfolder. Mine is called Flags, but if you call yours something different, you know, put it to whatever you call it. And then this bit, we've got name of your flag file.paa. So this is going to be the name of the file that you save as for your PAA that we're going to create at the end. And again, I will briefly show you that. But yeah, so do make sure when you get this config file that you do change the things that I've just mentioned, and you put it to whatever you have on your server. Right, let's just put that back over to the other thing. And so, right, now for me, I'm not going to change all that stuff, so mine's already set. But yeah, yours will pretty much look like that. Now I'm just going to edit, undo, because I need the three that I've got in there. Right, now what we're going to do, once you've changed the names, once you've changed the stuff that that I've told you to change from the config, you can pretty much just save it. So get the config, go to the Pastebin link, get the config, and put it inside the config CPP file that you've just created. And then just save it. We will come back to it, but then just save it. Right, now if we close out of that, yeah, don't save, close out of that, what we're going to want to do is we're now going to want to create the custom texture for it. Now, I'm using a program called GIMP. If you're someone, you can use a program like Paint. If you've got Photoshop, use Photoshop. I'm just going to use GIMP. So I've got GIMP already open. This is free. GIMP is free. Photoshop isn't, unless you want to do some dodgy things and get Photoshop free, but I wouldn't recommend it. GIMP is just naturally free, no hacking involved or any kind of dodgy stuff. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to want to create file, and we're going to go to new, and we want to check the image size. Basically needs to be 256 by, I think I got that the wrong way around. I got it the wrong way around. 512 by 256. No, it was right. It was right. Width should be bigger than the height. The 256 by 512. And with GIMP, I don't know about Photoshop or any other program, but with GIMP, you've got advanced option, and we've got option to do fill with background color, and we're going to change that to transparency, and we're going to click OK. Oh, No, we're not. We've done that wrong. Width. We did have it right. We did have it. That's 512 by 256. The width is 512. Width is longer, and height is 256. Advanced options. Make sure we change that back to transparency and click OK. We close out that one. So you'll get a little box like this with transparent. You don't really have to have it transparent, but if you've got a color there, that's going to be adding size to your config. You're going to be making your file size bigger than it really needs to be. Again, if we used to, you can go into like the Dayz scripts in the P drive and get a flag texture that's already there and just add on top of it. But because we've already got texture underneath, you just add in extra size to your file. So I like to start with blank. So I like to make my template basically transparent. But again, if you really wanted to, you could have a color already there. But we're not going to. We're going to have it transparent. And then I've already got an image that I've already got. But let's go ahead. Oh, when I record, I always get disturbed. When I've already got an image. I just googled an image and got an image. So if we basically GIMP doesn't like to open any images up unless it's a PNG or a JPG. So if you get an image that's not that, you need to transfer it. So what I'm going to show you is in Dayz Tools. I don't think I've already got it open. Sorry, my Steam and that is on my other monitor. Let me just open up Dayz Tools. Right. It's there in the background. Right, we're going to open up Dayz Tools. We're going to go to Text View. We're going to open that up. And I've just got an image just off Google. So if we open up that image that I got off Google, I think I saved it to my desktop, which was this image here. We're going to open. Why won't that open? Actually, it might be in my downloads folder, the one I got. I've modified so much. It's downloads. To desktop. Should be on my desktop. Where is the image? It is this image, but there should be. Maybe it is. Okay, no, I think I might have already saved it. If you got image that is not PNG, use text view. Open up the image in text view, and then you can save it, save or save as, and make sure you save it as a PNG file. I think the image I got was already a PNG, but do that, and then you can open up in GIMP. We will need to come back to the text view because we're going to need to transfer it to a PAA file. But if we open up the image, open as layers. Once you've got your transparent layer, open up a layer, a new layer, and we want to do. This is the image that I got off Google, and you're going to want to scale this layer to the size. So if we right click on it, scale layer, and this should be 256 by 512. So you get the idea. It matches the transparent layer that we did it the wrong way around. 512 256 scale. There we go. So we scaled it to the right size. Right, now you can go ahead and I'm going to open up an image that I already prepared, but you can go ahead and color the background. You can make some changes, add text. I'm just going to show you, open up the image that I already provided. So let's just undo that, and let's just file, open up layer, and let's just get the one that I already provided, or did in my previous tutorial, and we just got a green background, and we put test flag on top. I wasn't too fussy. I didn't want to go around the whiteboards and fill them in green. I just kept them as it is. But once you've got your texture, once you've designed it to whatever you want to, got the image you done, you could, in GIMP, you can just file, then go to export, and you need to export it. And what I would do is export it as a PNG, and put it, I don't know, on your desktop, put it somewhere where you know where it is. And again, you can name it. So I think I called mine testflag.png. We'll find it, but export it as a PNG. And then open up, if you go to Dayz Tools, oh, if I closed it again, I've closed it again. Open up DS Tools, go to Text View, go to File Open, and find that file that you saved. So for me, I've already got it here, testflag.png. And then what you want to do is go to File, once it's opened, go to File, Save As, and you want to save it as a PAA. Now, I've already done it, and what you want to do is save it straight into your mod folder. So where are we looking at? So go to your P drive, go to your mod folder, go to flags, and save it straight inside here. Now I've already done it, testflag.paa. So this is the name of the flag. But yeah, and then just click save. So imagine that wasn't there. Click save with whatever name you get it. Now the name you give it here, PNG, make sure it is a PAA, but the actual name, it can be anything. Okay, you can name whatever you want to name it as. Right, let's just close out of that because I don't want to override nothing that I've done. Once you've done that, go back into your config, which will be in your project folder, then in your subfolder. And you're going to want to change the name, the file path and the name for the bit that I've highlighted. Now, again, ignore these two down here because, like I said at the start, you will only have a config for one texture. So you'll just pretty much see this bit that I've highlighted. The change name here. So this bit here, where this is your project folder. So change it to whatever your project folder is. Flags, change that. Whatever you've named your subfolder, change it to that. And then this here is going to be the name of what you saved it as. So for me, let me go to the third one. Mine was called testflag.paa. So mine is called testflag.paa. Again, and then if you haven't already changed the config names at the start of when you get it, make sure you do. So make sure the name here, this name here does not need, what I've highlighted does not need to match the name here. This is just the name of what you'll see, of what the class name of the item actually is. So if you're trying to spawn it, you're trying to buy it from Trader, you want to try and add it to Trader files, this is the name there. So this doesn't need to match this. Display name, change that to whatever you want it to display as, and then a description sort of name. You can put a short description, a long description, yeah, just whatever you want. And then file, save. I'm not going to save mine because I've already saved it and I've already done this. But once you've done that, do make sure as well. So the file that I give you, if I still got it open, I have. So the file that I'll give you will have, let me go to raw a minute, will be like this. It will just have one config. If you want to add a second config to do, if you want to like design a second flag texture, all you're going to need to copy is from this bit here where it says class change me flag base, copy that down until that bottom bracket there with the semicolon. Copy that, and then underneath that, paste it. So if I can show you this, 2 seconds. Have I got Notepad open here? Let's just do file new. So yours will look like that. If you want to add a second one after you've done your first one, copy from this bit down to this bit. Then underneath that, you want to repaste it. So you'll have a second config for your second flag. Make sure, also, make sure, copy above that bit you just pasted, copy this bracket there, copy that with a semicolon, underneath, paste another. So at the end of the previous flag texture, you want 2 of these brackets with a semicolon like that, okay? But do make sure you've got 2 above clash, and then the name of whatever you have, you've got 2 of these semicolons and brackets. And at the bottom, do make sure you've got 3 of them, just like I've highlighted there. I'm just going to click close, don't save. So I'm hoping you're with me on that, okay? If you do want to add a second or a third, like I've done, or even 4th, 5th, however many you want. Once you've got that and you've saved your config, right, you can close out of it. and then you're going to want to use your PBA project. And again, you would already hopefully watch the videos how to set this up. You're going to want to click crunch and let it pack the PBA. Once it's done that, if you do have any errors, if you get the config straight from me, as long as you only change the things that I've told you to change, don't go ahead and do a second, third, or fourth texture. Just do one texture first and make sure it works. Okay, so as long as you only change the things that I've told you change, you don't delete nothing that you shouldn't, there'll be no errors in your config. But when you do use PBA project, if you do have an error, it will tell you where it is. Right, once you've done that, you're going to want to go to pack the PBA project, go crunch, and then you're going to want to go to DSU tools. Again, I've already showed you how to do this. I think in the video where I showed you how to do this, I don't think I'd override signatures ticket. It's going to cut out a step. It's going to make it easier. And then click add source directory. Go to your mod folder where your add-ons is. Click on add-ons and click OK. This will load up all your PBOs that you've got in your add-ons folder that you packed using Makiro tools. Then once you've done that, you want to click process files. That'll process all your files, and make sure in this bottom box down here, I've got 12 files there. You'll probably only have one. Just make sure it says your one file is signed successfully and you've got no errors. Right, once you've done that, you can close that down, and then you want to go to publisher, and you're going to want to publish your mod. You're going to want to click on new workshop item and give it a name. For me, I got my own mod here, but give it your name of whatever your mod folder is going to want to be called. Make sure this is mod. Make sure visibility is public. In the files mod content box, click on the folder and make sure you click on your mod pack. And you'll see it will have your mod pack folder name there, and then just select folder. So it's like that. So you will have P drive, and then it'll have the name of your mod pack that is in your P drive. This will then should say, if you've done everything correctly, mod content structure seems to be valid, signatures all signed. Again, you can have a per description if you want to. If you do updates, if you update your mod, which you surely will do, you can put change notes if you want to do that. But then make sure you click I agree with Steam Workshop license and update. Now, I'm not going to update nothing because I've not changed nothing, but make sure you do update. It'll take a minute or two, a few minutes, just to make sure it updates to the workshop. Then make sure you add your mod to your server, just like you would do with any other mod. Make sure you got the keys in your server. Make sure, you've added it to your start bat. I use what's it called, Amiga Manager. It automatically does all that. But if you're using something like Nitrado, or you've got your own private LAN server and you have to manually update your mod, make sure you manually, add all your mod to your server. And if you do update your mod, make sure you add the updated mod files to your server too. Right, anyway, once that's done, you're going to want to, and because I've already done this, my Amiga Manager has already got the file mod updated. But for me, normally whenever I update a mod, it takes about 5 minutes or so for Amiga Manager to actually recognize it and then to update it. But it has done, so I can pretty much log straight into my server and I can show you that config working. Now this test flag, I'm probably not going to keep it. It's just a test flag, but it does look pretty good. Anyway, let me boot up my server and log in, and I can show you the flag working. Alright guys, we're in on the server. I've already gone and take the opportunity just to make a flagpole and put the flag on it, but you can see the flag we got is on there fine. I should have one. Did I drop it? Okay, let me just take this one off. Let me just take it in my hands, and we can see this is what it looks like in your hands. That's what it looks like on the floor, but you can see it's called test flag, which is the name that we chose. We put our mouse over it. Again, it's called test flag, and it's got a custom flag that attaches to a territory flagpole. Just a little message there so what people know it's for. But yeah, you can see it actually works, and it actually looks pretty good. I mentioned that I probably wasn't going to keep it because it was just a test flag, but I may actually keep it. What I'll probably do is I'll probably remove the word test flag and maybe write something else, maybe not, and just re-upload it because I actually think that looks pretty good. It's quite funny, I guess. But yeah, anyway, you can see it works fine. And to find it, if we just load up my tools, I just went to, item spawner, and if you search test or whatever name you put it as, you can see there, it's just enable preview. You can see, that's what it looks like, and it comes up. And I've actually got, if I just search infected, I've got my other flags there that I did too. But yeah, and that's what you need to do. And you can see it actually looks, I actually do like it. I'll probably remove test flag and update it. But yeah, that's what you need to do. So if you're confused, my link to a Discord is on my YouTube channel. Come and join that, and I can always help you out if you are stuck with anything. But apart from that, anyway, guys, peace out, have fun, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.